Alright, so this is Stormie. She is a Rottweiler puppy, and today is her first day of her board and train. She'll be with me for 4 weeks to learn some basic obedience and some potty training stuff. And she's looking like she's going to be a really nice dog to train with. I'm really excited. She is already super interested in food, which is absolutely great. So we went ahead and started some healing. There's kind of 2 ways I'll usually start my board and trains. If the dog is incredibly fearful and like low confidence, I'll usually start them on place. But because she's a pretty springy little puppy, we went ahead and started with heel. It's another great relationship building exercise. And it gets some of that puppy energy out because it's them moving around. You may be able to hear me in this video. Every time I feed her, I'm actually marking good and then feeding her. And I look kind of like I'm dribbling a basketball right now because when we build behaviors like heel or sit or any of the basic behaviors and even advanced ones too, we want the dog to really enjoy that behavior. I want her to want to heel, not because I'm making her. And you'll notice there's very little leash action going on here. The leash is really just keeping her within 6 feet of me. I'm not actually using it to apply any pressure to her. Now here, like you can see, she stopped to pick up food on the ground. I just keep whatever tension that she puts on it, but I'm not pulling back or correcting her or anything like that. At this stage, we are purely just using positive reinforcement and negative punishment. And I do have a video just about operant conditioning if you are interested in that stuff, but in little Spark Notes version is positive reinforcement. We're adding in something the dog likes to increase the likelihood of their behavior. In this case, I'm offering her food and we are just using her kibble here. She is super pumped about it. And then negative punishment is when we're taking away the opportunity to get what the dog wants. So I'm not giving her kibble when she's, kind of looking around and doing crazy stuff. Basically, I just make funny little noises. You probably can hear them in the video. Goofy little sounds to get her attention. And as soon as she's doing what I want her to do, I mark good and I feed her. And she's offering me a really nice little attention heel, which I really appreciate. So I'm going ahead and I'm feeding her head nice and high up. If she wants to naturally do an attention heel, I'm absolutely not going to argue with her about it. That's pretty cool. So, we just shape the behavior to be what we want. She's settling in really well. Not all dogs will look like this on the first day. In fact, most dogs don't even eat for till the 2nd or 3rd day because they're a little bit nervous. And I do want to really emphasize in this because I don't know who might be watching the video. We are not denying them food the first couple days. They're just choosing to not eat the food, even if it's offered. But she's doing really well. She's super pumped about the food, and I'm super pumped about that. So she is really going to be a great dog to train with, so I'm really excited for her. Now, I took this video about 3 p.m. I picked her up at 8 this morning. She has not pottied for me yet. That's not super atypical. It's, again, normal for the dog's schedule to kind of get interrupted. As I said before, some dogs don't want to eat. I've had dogs that don't really want to drink a lot of water. And she's just really kind of nervous about pottying right now, and that's totally fine. I'm just kind of keeping a timer going. So we'll go out, do a training session. Training sessions last typically between 5 to 10 minutes. This one was about 10 minutes. And then I put her up, and then in 15 minutes or so, I give her a little bit of downtime. I'll bring her back out. All of our sessions start with a potty opportunity where I just stand there and wait for her to possibly go, which I think, I'm doing that here too. I kind of felt in my bones that she may potty, special dog trainer, 3rd sense. She still did not potty, but I did give her kind of a brain break. She mostly just picked kibble out of the grass. But that's fine, especially with puppies. These longer sessions, they can be really tiring mentally, so it's okay that she took a little bit of a break. She has not pottied yet, but I'm sure we will get there this evening. She's going to have to pee at some point. She's just going to have to kind of figure it out. But I'm just taking her out frequently to avoid her having to use the kennel as her bathroom. She is drinking and eating just fine, so I'm not worried about her health-wise. I think it's just a little bit of stress. And that's usually what I monitor with dogs is it can be kind of hard to decide if something is just a stress response or if it is a actual issue that we need to be concerned about. And for the most part, if the dog is like happy, it's eating, drinking, it wants to kind of say hi to me, the gums are pink, everything looks good, it's just a stress response. But if I did see anything alarming, I would of course be contacting the owners first thing. But I think she's just a little bit nervous, which is totally normal. Today she met me for the first time and I kidnapped her and I took her to a strange place, and now I'm giving her free candy. So it's a little bit weird for her, and that's totally okay. But we're still just kind of waiting on this potty break, giving her the opportunity to go. She's working on a slip leash, so most dogs that I get in, I will start on the slip leash. The few exceptions are if I have a very, very sensitive dog, which I've only, I think, had maybe one dog so far that the slip leash was too much for them. Then I would put them on a martingale collar, also known as a greyhound collar. But the slip leash works fine for most dogs. The reason I start dogs in the slip is if she did get scared of something, which I believe in this video, there's like a certain car that kind of startled her a little bit. But if she got scared and tried to pull out of whatever equipment I was using, the dog really can't pull out of the slip leash because it kind of constricts around their head when they pull back. The martingale collar does work similarly, but I find it's easier for the dog to somehow wiggle out of that collar than the slip leash. So the slip leash to me is the ideal tool for safety for the dog. Even though where we're training is actually fully fenced in, I still don't want her to get loose without a recall. I don't want her to get startled and be scared and running around on the property. This is like 11.3 acres or something like that, and that's a lot of land for a little dog. So I definitely want her to be nice and managed and under control, and I can keep an eye on her. So the slip leash is ideal for us. And you'll notice I'm feeding her without stopping. So I keep walking while I feed her. We're working on heel. So heel is an in-motion exercise of stay by my leg when I walk. Eventually, as we progress through the training, she's gonna learn that when I stop walking, she sits automatically. We're gonna create an auto sit. So I definitely want that movement portion of the heel. And it's a little bit more challenging for her as well too, because she's having to kind of deny herself that puppy energy and want to kind of chase after me and act like a civilized young lady like we all know she can be. I try not to edit these videos too much, by the way. I want you guys to see the full process, but if you do see like random little jump cuts, I use a recording device called a Pivo that tracks the dog while I'm recording, so that's why it can look a little bit shaky sometimes. And occasionally it gets stuck on things, like back there that jump cut was because it decided the house was a dog. So I usually will just edit that out, but I like to kind of let you guys know. So there she got startled. So all I did was I just continued doing what we've been doing. It's normal for puppies to get startled and scared of stuff, but how we react is going to determine whether that's going to be an issue for the rest of their life or if they're going to be able to work past those fears. So when she jumped like that and she kind of freaked out, I just went straight back to healing. I kind of extra rewarded her when she came back to me, but nothing really different happened. I didn't coddle her, nothing like that. And we're kind of nearing the end of the session. You can see she's getting a little bit less focused. She's getting a little bit tired, and that's fine. Think about like doing a 100-question math quiz. Mental tiredness is absolutely a thing, and it actually kind of takes more out of you than physical tiredness, because you can still watch TV after running a mile, but after doing a big test, maybe not. And here's the end of our session, just going into the crate. She's giving you kisses, and she's had a very great first day, lots of progress, and I'm really excited to see how she does in the future as well.